Hey everybody, what is good with you? BQ here, King of the Mountain podcast host. I wanted to step in here real quick and give my thoughts on the whole Alberto El Patron and Paige situation because I don't want to have to wait till Friday when I was doing the new podcast and everyone's already, talked this to death or whatever. So, stepped away from doing my homework and I wanted to give my thoughts on this. So, unfortunately, I relate to a situation like this all too much. I have been there a couple times, but especially once where I was involved in a very immature, toxic relationship. And you can have your opinions on who's right, who's wrong, and maybe all these things have been blown out of proportion. But if it looks like it's a duck, it's a duck. You understand what I'm saying? To be in the media and the news as much as they are, there's some truth to what's going on. This isn't a everyone's out to get us type of thing. Now, I was there. I told you I was in some very toxic relationships of my own, and I know the person that I was with had that mindset. It's not us, it's everybody else. They're out to get us. They want to see us fail. And a lot of brainwashing happens. There's no doubt these two don't love each other tremendously, but toxic love and immature love isn't real love. It's something that I hope everyone who's watching this situation, this is aside from wrestling, okay? Everyone who's watching this going on, I hope you're learning this and picking up on this, that this kind of behavior, this kind of relationship is not worth it. And you owe it better to yourself. And you deserve better. Anyone listens to this deserves better than that. Your worst enemy deserves better than that. Now, I'm a big fan of both of these. I've said it on my podcast numerous times. In the WWE, I did not like Alberto. He's been so passionate since coming to Global Force Wrestling that he has made me a fan. I've seen a level of effort from him and passion that I had not seen previously. And honestly, to see a guy of his status want to be in the company, that it makes me gravitate towards him with the history of people in the company who didn't really want to be there. Paige, I was always a huge fan. I don't keep up with that product so much now, but that was when I was watching Raw, SmackDown, whatever, a couple of years ago. I was a huge fan, and I've always wanted to see her come to the Global Force Wrestling side when it comes down to it, but WWE wasn't wrong here. They were I don't want to say vilified. They were vilified to an extent because the fans wanted to see Paige. Not so much Alberto, but Paige had a very loyal and strong following. Still does, but it's a lot of people are starting to get sick of this, but WWE was not wrong here. When they were trying to separate these two and put him on different shows, they weren't doing it to hold them back and because they were jealous. And if they felt that was a growing, healthy, nurturing relationship, I'm sure they would have done their part to help them carry on with it. Say what you say about WWE, even if you don't care for them. There's a lot of things I don't care for with them or respect that they do, but they're still the best running wrestling organization in the world, so for everything you complain that they do, well, the company you follow is probably 10 times worse, if I'm being totally honest with you. And it's unfortunate. He's our champion. I know some of you got the hashtag not my champion going on, but I mean, he's our Global Force Wrestling champion. They decided to put the strap on him, and how can I word this? The company, I don't want to say they should have saw this coming, but if you're dealing with someone that controversial, you might want to hold off on the whole, okay, we're going to make this guy the face of the company. And I like his work. I had no problem with him being champion. But now they're faced with a difficult situation. Now, people say, oh, they need to suspend him. Everywhere from the fans to the dirt sheets, we need to suspend him, or he needs to be suspended. Look, Global Force Wrestling is not a full-time company when it comes to the wrestling product. It's a part-time company ROH is a part-time company. Lucha Underground is extremely part-time. The only full-time wrestling company in this world is the WWE. So what do you want to suspend him from? They're not taping until August 11th. What do you want to suspend him from? Now, we don't know the pay structure with the company. I know Dixie had a lot of guys on salary, and usually your top names were on salary and the others were on per date deals. So we don't know that they haven't restructured everyone to per date. But if he is on a salary, I'm sure they can fine him or withhold pay or something. I'm sure there's some wording in the contract that can protect him, but they're not going to suspend him. There's nothing to suspend him from. He's not showing up to work, So this whole thing, I just hope there's some kind of resolution. It's a black eye right now on GFW because Paige is not a current active competitor for WWE. So they've got to figure this out. And he's our champion on TV for at least the next 6 weeks. That's what a big problem is going to be. But aside from wrestling, as I said, don't subject yourself to this kind of relationship ever in your life. And if you are, I'm here to tell you it's not worth it. I'm telling you from personal experience, it is not worth it. Whatever people around you tell you, contrary to popular belief, the human race does not want to see you fail. People around you, your trusted ones, your loved ones, family, friends, if they are saying things, there is a good possibility that there is a great deal of truth to it. I've been in relationships where, people didn't like the person I was with. I'm like, well, they don't know her like I do. No. Outside looking in, you see all the red flags. So this is just a very unhealthy, toxic relationship. And unless they get some help, these guys need some help. These two need help. And this happens a lot of the time when you have that big of an age gap. I had a very big age gap in one relationship, and it's very personal, so I can't say how it ended. But after that, I said I will never date anyone more than 3-4 years younger than me again. Age is just a number. It's a lot harder to date. It's a lot easier to date up than it is down. This is a bigger challenge for Alberto than it is for Paige. But this is all I got to say. I'm not going to talk everyone's ear off. If you're listening on YouTube, please subscribe first of all. But leave your thoughts in the comments about what you think about this relationship, what should be done, and we just got to see what happens in the coming days with these two and this story. And it's unfortunate that a negative article is floating right now about Global Force Wrestling when they're doing so much right at the moment. There's things people think they're doing wrong, but they have a plan, and you just got to keep that in mind. So it's BQ signing off. Like I said, please subscribe, whatever platform you're listening to me on, and that's all I got for you guys. Take care.